Drone, written by W.M.J. Kreucher, narrated by Samuel E. Hoke. Vasili Grigory Konstantinov was by any standard a solitary man, a quiet man. In large part, this was the main reason that he'd remained single. Though if he was completely honest with himself, there were other reasons. His employer saw fit to have him travel the world conducting business. Vasili was, in fact, the perfect company man. He had lived in several countries, spoke 5 languages, and took a personal interest in international affairs. He traveled the world and toiled in relative obscurity. Today, he was in Kiev, a city that he'd been in before. In the days that followed, Vasili met with Uncle Dmitri. He was never really sure that the man was his biological uncle, but for as long as he could remember, he had called the man by that name. Dmitri had taken care of him when he was young, then saw to it that he was sent to a series of well-structured foster homes. Sometimes in Bulgaria, sometimes in Germany. He even once lived with a family in the United States. The boy had a quick ear for language and a fertile mind. Dmitri was sitting behind his large wooden desk in his corner office in the Lubyanka building, in a century-old structure just off the square, when the phone rang. "Yes, it is done," was all the voice said. A click could be heard on the other end. "Who was that?" Misha asked. "Vasili, he did a favor for me." "I don't know why you continue to trust that man. If it were up to me, I would put him in the basement." Misha shook his head as he got up from his leather wing chair and walked over to the window. A trail of smoke from his cigar followed like the vapor trail of some airplane high up in the firmament. "Don't be so hard on the boy. He comes from good stock. Did you know his parents were the first heroes of our beloved country?" Misha was not particularly interested, but it didn't pay to offend Dmitri. "Partly. He was orphaned at the age of 3 when an American spy gunned down his parents in cold blood. I often suspected that he witnessed the killing, but he's never been able to confirm this. He denies it, of course, or at least denies remembering anything." Dmitri wrote out a note that would be added to the file later. "I still don't trust that man. He's too much of a loner. A man of solitude exposes himself to certain psychological dangers. You know that as well as I." "Perhaps, but he has his uses. He's the best in the world at what he does. He accepts assignments no other agent would dare tackle alone. Never once has he failed to complete a mission." The thought of Vasili's prowess in the field was a source of great pride to Dmitri. Vasili shot straight up in a cold sweat, grabbing the crumpled sheets tight in his clenched fists as if startled from some distant reality. The dream of those events, long since banished from his consciousness, had once again arisen. All too familiar were the memories. The dream that startled Vasili always began the same, with someone bursting through the door, his parents sitting on the couch, 2 glasses of vodka on a nearby table. It was dark in the apartment with only a single lamp outlining his parents. He'd been put to bed hours earlier, but woke up at the sound of something unfamiliar. He rubbed the sleep from his eyes, trying to see his parents. He was walking toward them, wanting to get them to calm him from the nightmare that woke him. All he could see was the flash from the muzzle. 2 shots, one aimed at his father, the other at his mother. He screamed in horror, the silent scream that never escapes the lips. He ran to protect his family, the steps stuck in mud that never seemed to go anywhere. The president was sitting on the couch in his office reading the sports page. His half-finished cup of coffee, poured into the Truman China cup, sat on the table next to him when the Secret Service rushed in. "We have an incident, Mr. President. We need to get you into the box." "What happened?" "A bogey has entered the restricted airspace near the White House, and we need to get you out of here now. And my family. Already headed down." The Secret Service agent grabbed the president's arm and quickly escorted him from the room. "Have we scrambled the fighters?" Sensing the urgency, the president began jogging alongside of the agent. "Yes, the Air Force Tactical Command has jets in the air. but they haven't been authorized to fire over civilian terrain. Do you wish to give the command? No, let's get down to the Situation Room first. I want to see this for myself.